Montreal Convention will decide compensation for Ahmedabad AI crash victims' families. Hayrace how on June 12, Air India's London-bound Boeing 7878 Dreamliner crashed minutes after takeoff in Ahmedabad, striking a medical college hostel and killing over 250 people. Of the 242 on board, 241 died in the mishap. Even as Tata Sons, the company that owns Air India, has announced Rs 1 crore compensation for families of the deceased and the lone survivor, the final amount, experts say, will depend on the Montreal Convention Treaty. Nanan the Montreal Convention, or the Convention for the Unification of Certain Rules for International Carriage by Air, is a multilateral treaty adopted on May 8, 1999, in Montreal, Canada, by the member states of the International Civil Aviation Organization ICAO. India joined as the 91st member in 2009. It is an international treaty that establishes airline liability in the event of an to modernize and unify the rules governing international air travel across participating countries, improving compensation for passengers and setting clearer liability standards for airlines. Important update: Air India stands in solidarity with the families of the passengers who tragically lost their lives in the recent accident. Our teams on the ground are doing everything possible to extend care and support during this incredibly difficult time. As part of our Air India June 14, 2025 Nanan Chapter 3 of the Montreal Convention is titled Liability of the Carrier and Extent of Compensation for Damage. According to the Convention, the compensation is determined and applied when the airline is liable for the damage. As of December 2024, it stood at approximately 211,000 in the case of death or bodily injury of a passenger. The treaty also specifies nearly 8,778 for each passenger in case of damage caused by delay in the carriage of persons. For destruction, loss, damage, or delay related to baggage, the limit per passenger is about 2,115. In the case of cargo, the liability limit has increased to around 36.21 per kilogram. Passenger injury or death: Article 17 strict liability up to 128,821 SDR. Special drawing rights as of December 2024 roughly $211,000 or Rs 1,81,59,504. Airlines are liable unless they prove the injury was not due to their negligence. Delay: Article 19 airlines are liable for damage caused by delay unless they took all reasonable measures to prevent it. The treaty specifies nearly 8,778 Rs 7,55,483 for each passenger in case of damage caused by delay in the carriage of persons' baggage. Article 1722 liability for lost or damaged checked baggage is up to 1,288 SDR 2,115 $US or Rs 1,82,054. No liability for unchecked carry-on baggage unless at fault. Cargo: Article 22 liability up to 36.21 Rs 3,116.87 per kilogram unless the shipper declared a higher value and paid extra fees. Jurisdiction: Article 33 claims can be brought in one of 5 places: the airline's domicile, its principal place of business, the place of ticket purchase, the final destination, or the passenger's primary residence if the airline flies there. Message from Campbell Wilson, CEO MD, Air India. pic.twitter.com 1 Uknrakag Air India June 14, 2025 Nanan international flights between countries that are parties to the treaty. Both India and the UK are members of the convention. Nanan the Directorate General of Civil Aviation DGCA ordered Air India to perform enhanced checks on all of its Boeing 78,789 fleet starting June 15, 2025, amid the probe panel set up by the Ministry of Civil Aviation on June 13 to evaluate the circumstances leading to the crash and assess existing standard operating procedures (SOPs) and safety guidelines currently in place. On June 14 evening, Air India CEO Campbell Wilson said the company will make an interim payment of Rs 25 lakh to each of the deceased's families and the survivor, besides Rs 1 crore already announced by Tata Sons. To provide immediate financial support, Air India will be making an interim payment of Rs 25 lakh, or approximately 21,000, to each of the families of the deceased and also to the survivor. This is in addition to the Rs 1 crore, or approximately 85,000, already committed by Tata Sons, Wilson said. The nationality of the passengers on board will define the minimum liability applicable to the airline operator as per the Montreal Convention, Prudent Insurance Brokers Vice President Aviation Specialty Lines Hitesh Girotra told PTI. Swipe left for next video. While interim compensation may be announced by the airline, final compensation for passengers will be determined under the Montreal Convention of 1999, to which India became a signatory in 2009, brokerage firm Houghton India MD and CEO Amit Agarwal said. Compensation is calculated using special drawing rights SDRs, which stood at 128,821 SDRs, approximately $1.33 per SDR as of October 2024. The actual payout will depend on the coverage purchased by Air India, Agarwal told PTI. Latest blogs.